I'm Bill Mackey of the Community Planning Team at the Department of Howard County Planning and Zoning. On Saturday afternoon, October 22, 2006, the county's consulting firm of Design Collective presented a preliminary draft master plan for the future of downtown Columbia. Since that day, Design Collective and Howard County's Department of Planning and Zoning, as well as a group of citizen stakeholders, the Downtown Columbia Focus Group, have been laboring to refine the vision that was set forth on October 22nd, and to create guidelines and a mechanism to implement that vision. Today, I'd like to review with you those refinements and additions to the preliminary draft vision plan since October 22nd. All of the documents that we will be discussing today are available on the county's website at www.co.ho.md.us. You can review the details and the many background documents as well as this presentation at your convenience. You can also follow the progress of the focus group since agendas, minutes, and all materials from the focus group meetings are also posted on the web. Before proceeding to the vision plan, I'd like to take a few minutes to walk through the process to date. The process has been comprised of 3 phases: the pre-charrette study phase, the charrette week itself, and the post-charrette phase where we are now. During the first phase, Design Collective interviewed over 150 citizen stakeholders to determine the issues that are important to the community and to be sure that no issues were missed during the charrette. The second phase was comprised of 8 days of public events from October 15th to October 22nd, where input was gathered and the ideas of the citizens were presented over several cycles so that the public gathered together could prioritize the ideas and come to a consensus about the future of Columbia. The third phase, which began this November, includes determining what studies are needed and working together with various county departments to initiate those studies together. Also, 5 focus group meetings have been held and an extensive outreach, including regularly updated website, emailings, postcards, and presentations to groups who extended an invitation are part of this outreach. I'm assuming that you are familiar with the charrette, and thus I will not be reviewing the results of the charrette today, but I do want to mention those things raised at the charrette as important issues: special pedestrian places, a link from the mall to the lakefront, distinctly different districts, diverse and affordable housing, interconnectivity with other villages, additional cultural and civic uses, mixed uses for an active downtown, local transit in the short term, as well as regional transit in the long term. This preliminary draft of the Columbia Downtown Master Plan is composed of 4 parts. The introduction includes a summary of the charrette process and its results. The refined vision plan is what I will be reviewing today. In addition, there's a section on design guidelines as well as implementation strategies, which contain the material in progress which will bring this vision to reality. Additionally, there is a separate component, the zoning amendments, which are needed to create a regulatory framework for the plan. The vision plan consists of 8 layers that together describe the vision for the future of downtown Columbia. This preliminary draft of February 27th, which is being presented today, includes refined graphics and added detail, as well as key objectives, which now appear in writing to supplement the graphics. These are not new ideas, but they've been included to directly spell out what was identified by people at the charrette as vital goals toward implementing the vision. The first layer of the vision plan is the concept plan. This combines the key elements of the 8 layers of the vision plan into a simple overview to illustrate relationships between various parts of the plan. The concept plan gives an overall idea of how these parts fit together, and I like to think of it as a visual table of contents or a preview of the vision plan. The illustrative master plan presents one potential build-out scenario that could occur in downtown utilizing this vision plan and its objectives. Some of the key objectives defined in the plan are: 1. Recognize and enhance the lakefront, including the promenade, the amphitheater, the sculptures and fountain as the very heart of downtown. 2. Ensure use of mixes, including civic and cultural uses identified, such as the Central Library, Meriwether Post Pavilion, Toby's Dinner Theater, recognized as a key cultural facility, the Columbia Association headquarters, as well as other arts and community facilities to be proposed. Other examples include number 5, offer a diversity of housing types, including a range of affordable and market rate housing. Number 6, include a variety of public spaces, such as meaningful squares, greens, plazas with public art, and these would be located at prominent places, as well as enabling public transportation, such as a shuttle bus or a local jitney, and encouraging sustainable design practices, such as green buildings. The next layer is the district's plan. The plan on the left is from the October 22nd presentation, and as you can see, only the buildings are indicated as part of the district. The February 27th plan is the one on the right and includes streets and open spaces in the districts, including Lake Kittamucundy and Symphony Woods. Text within the district's plans now describe the distinct character of each district, and you can read about the distinct character by reviewing the documents on the county's website. Also, in the discussions subsequent to the charrette, it has been raised that the mall may have to be reviewed as a 5th district. At the charrette, everyone assumed that the mall would remain, and the focus of design work was on the future, potential development elsewhere. And although the possibility of mall removal in the very distant future was entertained, the discussion of remodeling or small additions was not a focus. Later, at our focus group meetings and other departmental meetings, the concept that the mall owners may want to remodel the mall in the midterm began some of the new discussion about design guidelines for the mall, and these will be included in future drafts of the master plan. The next layer is the street network. On October 22nd, 3 long-term components of the plan were identified, and these were the 3 interchanges along Route 29 which access downtown. The February 27th Vision Plan includes additional details and an expanded list of potential improvements. Some early initiatives include, such as number 3, extending Twin Rivers towards the mall, and, such as number 8, constructing a new boulevard through the Crescent from Hickory Ridge Road to South Entrance Road to better define the edge of Symphony Wood. The next layer of the vision plan is pedestrian connections. The graphic in the upper left-hand corner was presented on October 22nd at the close of the charrette. Since then, the original concept has moved towards making more connections, with a focus on the qualitative aspect of these connections. Pedestrian connections include, in red, major promenades that provide pedestrian and visual connections between the mall and Symphony Woods and the mall and the lake. And this also includes an extended promenade along the lakefront itself. In orange, streets and sidewalks within areas lined by shops and restaurants will be the focus of enlivening the pedestrian environment. In yellow, sidewalks along important streets will connect to neighborhoods, and in green, paths through mostly naturalized areas are proposed. Also, written objectives are included, stating that new paths and sidewalks should be built to better connect Howard Community College, the Wild Lake Village Center, and around Lake Kittamucundy, as well as recognizing that the pedestrian bridge to Oakland Mills should be improved, lit, made safer, and more inviting. For public transportation and parking, the February 27th preliminary draft of the Vision Plan combines the separately illustrated transit right-of-ways from the October 22nd document, on your left, into a single proposed transit right-of-way along Route 29. This graphic also combines the proposed office parking structures and the separately proposed mall parking structures into a system of shared parking structures to provide for a park-once environment in this 20 to 30-year build-out plan. The plan also has added text which reflects the long-term desire for public transportation to connect Baltimore, Washington, D.C., BWI Thurgood Marshall Airport, Fort Meade, and other employment centers. The midterm goal for local trolley loop for easy circulation in downtown, as well as the short-term goal to improve existing Howard Transit routes to other villages. The Open Spaces and Special Sites Plan includes expanded destinations such as Toby's Dinner Theater as a key cultural facility, and this layer also includes general locations for greens, plazas, parks, paths, promenades, special sites, and other opportunities for public art. The goal here is to form a network of walkable spaces connecting to interesting places. The last layer of the vision plan includes the 4 districts themselves. During focus group meetings, a variety of issues came up for discussion, and some of those are still open for discussion. As we walk through the 4 districts, I'd like to point out some of the key recommendations that have been added, which is really just an in-writing format of what was proposed at the charrette, and also mention some of the issues raised at the focus group. In the Warfield Triangle, there's been some discussion about lowering the minimum heights. The original vision plan proposed 4 to 6 stories within Warfield Triangle, and some discussion has been raised about whether that minimum should be lowered to 2 or 3 stories. To describe Warfield Triangle in brief, its main use would be residential apartments and lifestyle retail shops and restaurants. Some supporting uses might be professional offices and services, as well as other retail on the ground floor of some building and share parking. 6 key recommendations are included in the Warfield Triangle section, such as provide bus stops, but relocate the transit hub to a more central location, number 4. Number 5, complete Restaurant Row as a pedestrian-oriented dining and entertainment area. As well as number 6, provide pedestrian-friendly sidewalks, crosswalks, and plazas to link the existing communities along Governor Warfield Parkway to the mall and to other downtown districts. For Corporate Boulevard, there's been some discussion about adding residential uses in order to provide for a transition and a connection between those residential uses in the Warfield Triangle and those residential uses at the Town Center Apartments, as well as providing a link to Symphony Woods. 8 key recommendations were set forth for the Corporate Boulevard District, such as, number 1, converting the southern segment of the Mall Ring Road to a real street. Number 4, create pedestrian promenade and visual connections from the mall to Symphony Woods. And number 8, make a corporate boulevard into an attractive, pedestrian-friendly place that connects the residential with the views in the lakefront. For the Lakefront Little Patuxent Parkway District, issues revolve around defining what is the core area. What are those boundaries? What's included? What might building heights be? And these are further addressed in the presentation by Mina Hilsenrath on design guidelines. I think it's important to note that the vision plan recognizes that the lakefront area and this core is really the heart of downtown and the place where community activities and leisure activities should take place. As well, there's supporting uses there for restaurants, entertainment, signature buildings, and perhaps some limited office and residential. In addition, the plan recognizes the existing amphitheater, the plazas, the paths, and the natural areas around the lake, as well as the civic uses in this part of downtown. 11 key recommendations are included in the plan for the Lakefront Little Patuxent Parkway area, such as, number 2, allowing development on the linear section of Columbia Association's property. What this is there's a 30-foot right-of-way strip along portions of Little Patuxent Parkway currently owned by the Columbia Association, and the plan proposes allowing this area to have building frontages and shops right along Little Patuxent Parkway. Another idea is extending Wincopin Circle as a special two-lane street. This is under number 4. And ensuring that this design retains the hug, the peepal tree, and the surrounding trees in the area. And finally, and this is important I believe, preserving the lakefront open space as it is currently configured. As part of the Lakefront Little Patuxent Parkway District, a variety of alternative proposals are also included. At the charrette, there were a number of ideas proposed for what might happen in that core area, and our consultant design collective chose to illustrate the most dramatic one. And after the charrette was concluded, Marcia McLaughlin, the Director of Planning and Zoning, asked DCI to restudy this. And the vision plan presents 2 alternatives for the teachers' building in downtown at the lakefront. Option A shows the potential for a new building with a lake view, while option B shows maintaining the existing building without the lake view. In addition to this, there's been a lot of discussion at the focus group about refining the character of Wincopin Street. And these discussions center around things such as special materials, design of the streetscape, a special street width, sidewalk dimensions, the possibility of parallel parking or not, and also whether the street might be open or closed to traffic at certain times and certain events, as well as responding to the feedback about Baroque architecture in downtown, as you can see from the changes here. And finally, the Crescent and Symphony Woods District has had some discussion about whether a school site might be reserved on the property just in case there's more demand than anticipated for an elementary school. Again, the main use in the Crescent and Symphony Woods will be residential apartments and office buildings, as well as supporting civic and cultural uses, and don't forget Toby's is there. Among the key recommendations for the Crescent Symphony Wood, and there were 7 made, number 2 would be preserve and enhance Symphony Woods as Columbia's Central Park, reserve the library site for either an expansion or perhaps designate a new library site, and also reserve a corresponding site on the west side of Symphony Woods to kind of make a matched pair. As well, and the last one, number 7, extending pedestrian and bicycle trails from Symphony Woods all across the downtown and interconnecting that with places such as Howard Community College. And now I'd like to turn the presentation over to Mina Hilsenrath, who will walk you through the design guidelines section of the plan.